this should have been done back in June, but better late than never, right? Now, I could be wrong, but the older I get, it's starting to feel like that line, oh, music today sucks compared to years ago, is something people talk about any year, which for better or worse, I think's always a valid argument, but regardless, that's probably for a different episode. The current state of things in heavy metal, is it good? Is it shit? Well, let's take a look at recent stuff. Here's a quick rundown of Summer 24 so far, and we are covering a wide spectrum. Some of them for bigger names, others smaller, whatever. Most are things I've reviewed here before, but I'm just trying to figure out, hopefully collectively, that means with you too, if the year's been bitchin' or underwhelming. So please do comment with anything you think's been awesome if you like. Alright, here we go. From January. Shit, man, technically this shouldn't count, because although I reviewed it in January because it was new to me, Relapse put it out at the end of last September, but Final Gasp with Morning Moon. You take a blender and put a lot of Sam Hain and Danzig 1 through 3 in it, a little Danzig 4, a bunch of Glen era misfits, a barely noticeable pinch of Project 1950, but truly the most ingredients come from Sam Hain and Danzig, and you got Final Gasp, man. Fucking A, Morning Moon is an awesome album. Next, Intercontinental Champions of Party Grind, Thrash and Roll, Bastards of Slime, New England's Drive-By, Bukkake dropped a tour-only edition of Bastards of Slime, but this time each track's got a companion. What I mean by that is, an alternate version comes either from a mix by Joel Grind of Toxic Holocaust, a live version from the Stress Factor, that's WJUL and Lowell Mass's metal show, tracks live from the Stone Church in Brattleboro, Vermont, or alternate mixes. And obviously it smokes, man. Greg, Jane, Brian, and Tim, Drive-By Bukkake is disgusting, and I fucking love yous. Early February, we hear the first new track from Slayer, Kerry King, Idle Hands. I don't know, man, I thought it was awesome. That song, the whole album that eventually dropped in May, I liked it a lot. Yeah, obviously it sounds like the last couple Slayer releases. Death Angel Mark's vocals are fantastic. Obviously Phil Demmel's an amazing guitarist, and I've always loved Boss Staff as a drummer, and that Kyle fella's bass playing seems to be fine. Kerry's Slayer DNA, and From Hell I Rise, man, great album. Okay, March, Arcana Rising from a new band called Coffin Storm. That includes Fenriz from Darkthrone, Apollyon from Noir and Lamented Souls, and a gentleman who identifies as Bestial Tormentor, also from Lamented Souls, and a whole bunch of other projects too. Arcana Rising is doomy 80s heavy metal, man. It's equal parts Witchfinder General, sometimes Candlemass, Cult is Alive era Darkthrone, early era Dio Sabbath, even a little Kill 'Em All Metallica at times. I enjoyed this record thoroughly. Similar Blood in April, it beckons us all, Darkthrone, and I love the absolute piss out of it. It's reminiscent of Old Star, you could say. Very analog. Not a complete Candlemassy Doom type of thing, but one could argue if you're not just focusing on Epicus exclusively. And man, that lead single, Black Dawn Affiliation, rules, man. Battle ballads from Power, Prog, Heavyweights, Tear, and whoa, was it certainly an album of just that. I'll put it to you like this. If you're one of those Iron Maiden fans that hasn't necessarily been a fan of, say, Dance of Death Upward, because I think even most longtime fans loved Brave New World, but if you've been clamoring for another Power Slave with like less sophisticated songs and more anthems, then if you're a Tear fan, though their whole discography is solid, Battle Ballads delivers enormously well on that desire. Graveside Grin, the latest from absolute masters and champions of party sludge, as I call them. Stoner heavy metal titans, Leatherlung. Front to back, awesome, catchy, memorable, perfect for the appetite of not only doom stoners, but anybody who likes heavy metal in general. These dudes are kings of their space, man. Fuck. Stay in stoner for a sec. 39 Serpent Power from South Dakota's RiffLord. Dude, I gotta be honest, given their previous material, plus the upward trajectory, how the fuck you say that word? Trajectory, there we go, that they seem to be on, I really believe this release easily could have been one of those moments of betrayal that some longtime fans would call a sellout. But nope, they clearly took Jamie Hatebreed's advice when faced with a crossroads and figuratively speaking went harder. So as far as I'm concerned, that solidified them as lifers to their sound, and 39 Serpent Power proves it beautifully, because it's an awesome album. Pain is My Drug and Funeral Mine, two singles, you could call them both a debut, I suppose, from a fresh new new band of young psychopaths hailing from Sweden, Circle of Nerves. First off, the singer sounds genuinely terrifying. The rest of the band's vicious as hell too, and they are a very heavy, what I'd call mid-paced sort of sludge, but wonderful music with a pinch of movement in it, so you are sure to be able to bang that head right through the floor. Nuclear Doom State from New York City delivers a modern-day sounding thrash metal Final Siege. Think more recent destruction with a singer that kind of reminds you of Peter from Vader. Fantastic album from very clearly skilled musicians. Totality from a band that's slightly reminiscent of a combo of DRI, Force of Habit era Exodus, Suicidal Tendencies, and Cowboys from Hell era Pantera all in one. And there's probably some Municipal Waste inspiration in there too. And they are, of course, Take Offense. This album is chock full of bangers, and neither it nor the rest of the band's discography is gonna let you down. Fucking thrash hard here, man, with Totality. And Jasta for All, the latest solo album from Hatebreed's Jasta, and man, is it killer. You know, I hesitate to call it a straight hardcore album, because honestly, it's very, like, thrash heavy. Yeah, most songs are way more Slayer than Hatebreed, but then again, lots of Hatebreed can be described like that too. Guests include Chuck Billy from Testament, Scott Ian, Anthrax, Stormtroopers of Death, and Mr. Bungle, Jethro from Exodus, Joey Concepcion from Arch Enemy, and Phil Demo, Violence and Machine Head. And now Category 7, a new outfit featuring John Bush from Armored Saint and Anthrax, as well as Mike Orlando from Adrenaline Mob, Jack Gibson from Exodus, and Jason Bittner of Shadows Fall and recently departed from Overkill. And you know, sometimes you hear bands talking about how they want to write an album full of anthems. Well, here you go, and Jasta for All, mission damn accomplished. Alright, Killing for Revenge, 6 Feet Under. Let me tell you something, man, this album is a shining example of how undisputedly music is 100% purely subjective. The first review I heard came from a fairly sizable YouTube channel, I swear I can't remember what it was, and it was trashing it. I then watched another review and the same thing. So my initial thought was that Killing for Revenge must have sucked. Now perhaps I should have looked further to find positive reviews, but instead I did the most reliable thing. I fucking listened for myself. That first listen through was quite confusing because practically the whole time I was wondering, what am I not hearing that those reviewers are? Or maybe more accurately, what am I hearing that the others are not? Because this album fucking rocks, man. I mean, it's full of bangers all over it. Know Nothing Ingrate, Hostility Against Mankind, Neanderthal, Bestial Savagery. Barnes sounds perfect for it, and Jack Owen's guitar work is fantastic, and awesome riffs, and like, I just didn't get how some could trash it like they did, which makes me wonder if sometimes when that kind of thing happens, it's because of something external, like outside the music. And from there, you gotta wonder if others that see that first review may sing a similar tune, not because of what's in their heart, but rather a fear of sounding like wrong or something. Fuck that, man. I know it's hard sometimes, but I say go with your heart instead of your head when it comes to music. Hail Barnes, hail Owen, hail 6 Feet Under. June, from Monroe, Louisiana, comes the single American Dream from skate, thrash, 80s inspired outlaw, hardcore, R&R, powerhouse, motherfucking Jethro Skull, man. These guys are awesome and absolutely one of those things that can be filed under the bands you should know file. Here's one way to put it. You know, some death metal heads will proudly rep for certain punk bands, like you'll see them with Exploited Patches or Discharge or Motorhead and stuff. Jethro are one of those bands, man. Think Poison Idea, Jabbers, Murder Junkies, Anti-Seed, hell, even a bit of Turbo Negro. Now, subtract that simple fucking approach to songwriting and replace it with the kind of execution you'd hear from bands like Led Zeppelin or Thin Lizzy. Yes, I mean that. And you got Jethro Skull. They absolutely rule, and American Dream is an amazing song. Fucking A, man. Also in June, the first new music in a while from a band I'm gonna describe using a term a commenter here brought up that I'd never thought about previously. Shout out Lylesburg 1885, because he called them hardcore grind, and that's exactly what I'd say too. Nails, and the song Imposing Will comes from their upcoming full-length on Nuclear Blast. Every bridge burning, and man is it mean. It really truly is hardcore plus grind, and this was the first song I'd ever listened to from these guys after seeing them on t-shirts for like a decade. Very raw without raw production, if that makes any sense. I don't know, man, I ain't a producer, I'm just telling you what I hear. 1349 with Ash of Ages and Shadowpoint off their upcoming The Wolf and the King full length on Season of Mist. Both are very hookish and memorable, and Shadowpoint's got a very powerful chorus, and production-wise, it kind of reminds me of Cauldron and Demon War before it. Awesome band, I've liked them since Beyond the Apocalypse, and Frost is just an insane drummer, man. I'm still pissed Psycho Las Vegas might be over, because we were supposed to get Satyricon in 21, then in 22, and then the fest just didn't happen, period, in 23, and now it looks like it's totally dead. Fucking A. Tony, Ozzy, Bill, and Geezer, you guys helped create this whole heavy metal mess. Buy the rights to the name and let's go gambling. October Noir dropped a new single and video with Mike Hideous, formerly of the Misfits, and mostly on lead vocals, and this is some deep shit, man. No departure from their usual sound. It's the same formula loved by all their fans, me included. I'm fighting like hell right now not to make the comparison I always do whenever I cover these guys, because I swore I wouldn't do it anymore when I first reviewed this. It's hard. If you like gothic music like Paradise Lost, My Dying Bride, Moonspell, even The Cult, fucking typo negative, damn it, then you're sure to be over that Wolf Moon for October Noir, because they rule and the Ages does too. Very powerful song though, don't listen to it if you're sad. Or do, I don't know. Boys, I fucking love you guys. June also brought Screams and Dreams from Mourning Noise featuring Steve Zing, which makes it Misfits, Samhain, and Danzig blood lineage, and it's a terrific album. Hooks all over it, and Sin's probably my favorite song on the album. Yeah, if you like any of those bands I just mentioned, don't deprive yourself of Mourning Noise or Black 29, Zing's other band. Finally, this month, you press play on an album called Scorched Earth Prophets, and you'll swear you're back in 2001 at some big-name metal fest, and in one room, Impaled's playing, Malevolent Creation in another, Jungle Rot on the outdoor stage, somebody's got Exhumed coming out of their car nearby that's parked illegally, one of the tour buses has their own music playing, and it's Nile, and this is all by Ireland's Fuckhammer. Death metal, death and roll, sludgy death and roll, not really death doom I wouldn't say, but it's an awesome album, man, and this is an extremely good band. This is not just death metal you listen to and forget, like all their releases, including Prophets, give you many memorable songs that are supremely well written. So yeah, if you love old school death and nothing produced after like 06, I promise you'll love Scorched Earth Prophets. I highly recommend them. So alright dudes, not to mention a recent release from Opeth. I can't speak much on them because I've never really followed them that closely, but I know they're very popular and lots of people seem to be talking about the new stuff, and Orange Goblin's latest album, Science Not Fiction's another one I shouldn't speak on much because I'll admit I haven't really digested it as deeply as I should have, but early thoughts is that it's pretty damn strong. What I miss? I'm sure there's lots of shit, so hey, let me know. But okay dudes, we still got 4 months left to 24, and tomorrow, or today, depending on when this goes up, Nile's releasing their new album, so hopefully it's as good as Black Seeds and Amongst. However, in the meantime, I am out of here, man. So if you did like this video, cool, maybe you can give it a thumbs up, or if you just like hearing somebody bullshit about heavy metal, then thrash, skank, invisible orange, whatever you want to do, right into that subscribe button, and we'll see you next time on Concrete Spew, but until then, stay wild, my friends.